Alright everyone, NPC Unknown here, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about Netflix's new Resident Evil TV show. So I remember when they first announced it and they showed some photos of the cast, and it got me to oblivion based on Netflix adaptations being what they are. And yesterday, or today, they dropped their first trailer. Boy, the fans, they aren't exactly the happiest bunch. The comment section on the YouTube video is rougher than wiping your ass on sandpaper. So, with that, there's also been some news of what the series is going to kind of show. So before that, let's just take a quick deep dive into Albert Wesker as a character normally. So Albert Wesker, chronologically, his first appearance is in Resident Evil 0, where he's in an abandoned training facility that was run by Umbrella, and him and William Birkin are observing Rebecca Chambers and Billy Cohen as they explore the training facility trying to escape the leech infection there. By the end of 0, they set the self-destruct mechanisms on the building, and Wesker leaves to start a new plan, which is to betray STAR's team Alpha and Umbrella itself, which leads into Resident Evil 1, where he unleashes a Titan and is supposedly killed, and we do not hear from Wesker again in Resident Evil 2, even though there's a picture of the Alpha team with him in it. In Resident Evil 3, there isn't much there. In Resi 4, he's in the background because of Code Veronica, where he returns in Code Veronica trying to get the Code Veronica virus from one of the Ashford twins, and he has a fight with Chris Redfield and talks about how the next time those two meet, it will be the end. Next time those two met would be Resident Evil 5, where Chris Redfield and Sheva have a fight. Chris punches a boulder, and then Wesker falls in a volcano and gets shot with a rocket launcher, basically. So then this new TV show about the Weskers, be quite surprising to find out that it will reveal how Wesker actually survived the volcano. So Netflix Resident Evil show will reveal how Wesker managed to survive the volcano at the end of Resident Evil 5, despite the fact that Albert Wesker is arguably Resident Evil's most iconic villain, even though Lady Dimitrescu has probably pushed that pretty close recently, thanks to Resident Evil Village. The character hasn't made actually a proper appearance in the series since Resident Evil 5, seemingly killed off by Chris Redfield at the end of said game when he was in a volcano. The up-and-coming Resident Evil Netflix show uses the game's canon, which is a positive, and runs concurrently with it, meaning the volcano encounter actually happened in the show's universe too, which might seem confusing since Albert Wesker is not only alive and well, but also one of the show's main characters. Thankfully, Resident Evil's showrunner Andrew Knabb confirmed in an interview with The Gamer that the show will answer the mystery on how Wesker survived the following events of Resident Evil 5. Knabb said there is a very good reason why Wesker is back, and it does not come down to the fact that he's wearing lava and rocket launcher-proof clothes. What a writer, what a genius. There's been a preview on different websites such as The Gamer where Wesker's return and how he managed to come back to life in 2036 despite apparently dying nearly 3 decades earlier. Seems to be one of the show's core mysteries, and one that Knabb has now confirmed will get answered. Although Resident Evil Netflix show uses the series as canon and does its own things with the events, it won't be impacting the game's lore in any way, as the two are considered separate. However, it's interesting to consider that if Wesker is alive in the Netflix show, Capcom could also figure out a way, or use the same logic, if there is logic in this show, to bring Wesker back into the games. In fact, there's already been several hints of Wesker being alive in the games. One of the examples was a voice recording in Resident Evil Umbrella Corps, as well as a hint to a gun with his name in Resident Evil 7. They're also saying that the new Resident Evil show will have more than one iconic character appear in Season 1. So Resident Evil is obviously full of iconic characters. We just spoke about Wesker, we have Chris Redfield, it's obviously Leon. So even though the new show, the focal point is Wesker, they confirmed he isn't the only character that's going to be in the show, and they hopefully want more to appear in the second season. On the prospect of seeing more iconic characters, Dab has said what they were doing during that time. In some cases we kind of know, if you've been following the games, in some cases we literally no idea. So that could be people like Billy Cohen or Carlos, who have in like Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 3 and then just disappear. So there is some opportunities there for the writers, so they say. One character that Dab specifically mentioned during the interview with Lady Dimitrescu, when the popular Resident Evil Village villain was mentioned. Village is part of our lore, and if we want to put a giant vampire lady in Season 2, we can. I'm not saying we're going to, but it's an option. Interestingly, if Dab has confirmed that Village's events are part of the show's lore, that also means that characters such as Rose and Chris Redfield are chronically alive in the Netflix show universe in 2036 and could possibly make appearance. Who better to show up in the show about Wesker than Redfield themselves? If you're worried about how all this will work out in the series, the series is established canon. Dab explained, we're trying to be very conscious of the games in our canon. We did not consciously violate any rules from the games, but at the same time, it's not a direct adaptation from the games. So it sounds better than those movies as far as they seem to be using the canon, but this is Netflix. It will probably get mediocre reviews. Fans will probably not like it so much, and it will probably get canned after a season. What are your opinions on the Resident Evil Netflix show? Are you interested in watching it, or are you just going to skip it completely? Thank you very much for taking your time to listen and watch this video. Please hit that like button, please subscribe. From me to you, this video is game over, and PC out.